Keith Grinke here from Top of News with the man of steel, Tyson Steele, the day after a victory here in Winnipeg. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
So yesterday you fought 5-1 Jared Milko. You came out with the victory. Why don't you talk about that fight?
First round of the fight, I came out kind of flat-footed, I think. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I'd have to go back and look. We engaged right away and tied each other up, I think, against the cage, and I think he took me down against the cage and wound up in my top guard. I tried a couple arm bars, and the first one I think was fairly close. I was pulling on the thing hard, and he defended properly, got his arm free. I tried again, and the second one wasn't close. He had his elbow free. He knew it. I'm sure I could feel that it wasn't there, but I thought I could maybe, if I kept working at it, I could pop his elbow back in on the inside and maybe try for the second arm bar, but there wasn't really anything there. And the round pretty much finished off with him top guard.
Yeah, taking the round.
I wasn't able to work any submissions for probably the last half of the round. He landed some good nice ground and pound, nothing too major. We bumped heads and split me open a bit, so it was a bit of a cause for concern.
So you're worried there? So first break, they signal a dock in. You wondering?
Yeah, I didn't know
what's going to happen.
I didn't know how bad it was. I knew it was bleeding because I could see a little bit on my gloves and stuff, but I didn't think it was that bad. And then they called the doc over, and he didn't seem too worried about it.
It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bleeding into my eye or nothing, so he wasn't too worried about it. And so yeah, the second round we just again engaged right away, and I think I pressed him up against the cage and hauled him down and got on his back. I was on his back working for a choke for probably 4 minutes of the round.
Yeah, he took the whole round.
Yeah,
on his back.
He wasn't giving me anything to work with for his neck. He obviously been working on his rear naked choke defense a lot, and he's good at the rear naked choke too. He has a lot of wins like that, so usually if a guy has a lot of sub wins, then he knows how to defend it really well too, which he did. And the third round was exactly like the second, I think.
Yeah. And it was pretty much, what we saw was a lot of hand fighting, really. You trying to loosen him up a bit, and trying to sink it underneath his neck, but just couldn't do it. And
anytime I had my hands free, he tucked his neck real well, so I couldn't get underneath it.
But nonetheless, you got the unanimous decision victory. Your record's now 9-1. Do you think it was almost a year layoff since you fought at EFC? Was that a big factor, you think, of the slower start?
I don't know. I've probably not. I'm not sure. It's tough to say. I feel more and more relaxed each time I fight, so maybe that's why I wasn't as anxious to come flying out of the gate, maybe.
Yeah, and you're also had an injury. You were supposed to fight Ryan Ford last winter, and did that play any effect?
No, my knee's been great now. It's back to 100%. It was about 3 months to heal it. It was torn LCL. So other than not being able to compete for a year, once it was healed, I still had been training hard since it was healed up.
Yeah, and you look great. And after a year of not fighting, you got 2 in a row. Pretty much a couple months apart. Mm-hmm. You got Gregor Gracie coming up at World Series of Fighting in November. Talk about that fight now that this one's passed.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be a nice way to salvage the rest of 2012, get some fights in before the end of the year. It's to be honest, I haven't even seen Gregor fight because when the fight was announced, I had already been training for Jared. So I didn't want to go ahead and look ahead and watch anything on Gregor, but I'm sure he's going to be good. He's a big name, and probably starting Monday I'll start looking into him a little more. But as of now, I don't really know much about him.
Yeah. Well, how about what was it on your mind at all facing Milko that you have this Gracie fight? Was that fight kind of threatened if you had a loss here?
I don't know if it was or not. I was never told one way or another. It probably the only threat was if I was to get hurt in the Milko fight.
Okay.
It's only 6 weeks away, so it doesn't give me time to heal up. And fortunately, I didn't get hurt at all. So
No. So
back to training.
no suspension. Your eye's fine. It'll be.
3 stitches in the eye, and the doctor said as long as I don't reopen it,
Yeah.
training, it'll take about 5 days to heal up.
Oh, so that's perfect then.
Yeah.
Before we let you go here, anyone you'd like to thank? Family, friends.
Yeah, I had lots of family come out, and those who couldn't make it, it sounds like there's a ton who watched the online pay-per-view as well, so they're showing support, and lots of friends and teammates from Saskatoon made it out, so that was nice. It's a far drive.
We'll talk about the cornering here. You got like Graham Wink, Kurt Southern was there, Adam Lorenz there. Like that's a pretty stacked corner.
I saw your review of the fight, and it actually wasn't Kurt Southern in the corner. It was another training partner of ours. His name's Sean Willick. He came out. He flew out the day of weigh-ins with.
He was across the cage from me, so I didn't see him well, I guess.
yeah, you probably never saw him before, but that wasn't Kurt.
No.
But I had Adam and Graham. They always corner me. They're really good. Yeah.
And how's Graham as a coach? What does he mean to you?
Yeah, he's the only coach I've ever had, so he's pretty much seen me develop as a fighter throughout my very first stages to where I am now. Everything that I know, I owe to him, basically.
Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations on the win. 9-1, facing a Gracie in Las Vegas. It's got to be exciting, and best of luck there, and represent Canada well.
I will. Thanks.